Good morning everybody, or evening wherever you are. In today's video I'm gonna go over how I write review articles that rank #1 on Google, and I'm gonna give you my exact template and my exact processes for doing just that. To follow along with this video, you're gonna need two things. One is Ultimate Blocks, and it's a free WordPress plugin that you can get and install on your WordPress site for free. Then the second thing I use is Surfer SEO. You don't need this to do it, but it really helps with the ranking process. So before you even begin to write, I'm going to assume you have already got your keyword. If you haven't got your keyword, I've done a video on keyword research, which I'll link on the screen now. Shows you how to find buyer intent keywords that are low competition and low in search volume and easy to rank for, and that will generate you sales. Once we've got the beautiful keyword that's going to make us got Monetize, we're going to go into Surfer SEO. And what happens in Surfer SEO, it has a search engine result analyzer, which shows you the results for the top 10, and a content editor. We're going to be using the content editor for this, and we're going to be targeting United States traffic because that is where I want to target. If you want to target anywhere else, just choose the country. So let's say I wanted to write a review about this camera. Let's say the Nikon D5200 camera review. I'd pop that in the top of the content editor, and then I'd smash that enter button, go through to the search result. It's going to do a lot of scanning the web for you to see what's ranking, what's not, and how many keywords you need to use and where. So after that's done its thing, we're going to go ahead and click it, wait for a few seconds, and then it comes up with this other page. As you can see, we got our title up here, we got a load of keywords down the side, and it tells you how many times you should use those keywords and how many words you should write for this specific topic to have a chance of ranking. This is why Surfer SEO is really good. It literally gives you everything on a plate. For those of you who don't have the money for Surfer SEO, the way I would do this is I would type in the Nikon D5200 review into Google, and I would take the top 3 results and I would add up the word count, and I'd probably do about the first 5. I'd add up the word count on each page using wordcounter.net, clicking on each page and copy and pasting the word count over there, and then adding it up in a calculator and dividing it by 5, and that should give you your rough word count for the article. After I'd added up the amount of words, I would then pop this into Yoast or something like that and just follow the guidelines on Yoast. They're not that good on Yoast, but it's better than having nothing in my experience. So here we've got the Nikon D5200 camera review. I'm just going to capitalize everything, and then we'll write a title later on, but we're just looking for the template right now. On Surfer, you can actually share the link of your template, which means you can share it with your content writers, and they know exactly what to write, how many words, how many paragraphs and images are needed exactly in that article. However, although Surfer is absolutely brilliant at doing this, it sometimes picks up some words that aren't necessary, so we need to go in and we need to clean it up. Once we've clicked the settings, we're just going to go in here and we're going to choose all the ones that are reviews. So I can see this one's a review, this one's a review, that one's not a review, that one's not a review, that one's a review, don't want the Wikipedia. What else do I want here? I want that one because that's a review, and those two because those are reviews. And then it will update the amount of words you need. So it's updated it to 2,704. You can put in any amount of words you want in here. So if you wanted to do a 1,500 word article for this topic, you could do that, and it would alter the amount of headings and keywords you need to use. It does suggest the optimal amount of words in the article, so I would highly suggest going with the amount of words it says there. Then, like I said before, it's going to pick up some terms that aren't necessarily worth putting in the article. Sometimes it picks up one word things like but or like or best or most, and you kind of want to remove them from that because you don't want to be trying to fill the amount of best keywords it's telling you to do when you're writing the article, because the best isn't an important keyword. He's actually done a pretty good job of this. I don't think there's anything right here that needs to be removed, to be fairly honest with you. But for instance, when you do search for other things, sometimes it comes up with stuff like this: one, auto, good, like, and you have to go in and you have to deselect all these one word terms like best, new, use, see. I wouldn't deselect review because that's what you're doing. You're doing a review, so you do need to grab that in there. But I would deselect everything like get, well, use, mode, time, used, size, all that type of stuff. It's just filler, you don't need it. You're gonna write stuff like that anyway. Then once you've cleaned up all the keywords, you scroll down a bit further and you come down to topics and questions. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna pick up what people also ask. So we've got a number of questions. We've actually got 4 here, and we've got, is Nikon D50 still a good camera? Is D5200 a good camera? So we want to deselect the top one because the rest of these are pretty related. Nikon D50 is not what we're looking for. We're looking for 5200. So I'm deselecting that. Then down here, you've got a notes section, which you can leave notes for your freelance writer to write about and things like that. I don't really use this section for anything. I usually write it in the actual template, which we'll get onto now. So onto the juicy template. The first thing you're going to put at the top is the product box from the Ultimate Blocks plugin that I suggested. If you've ever been on a site where you've been looking for a recipe and you had to scroll down the page a million fucking times to get the recipe and hear someone's life story about how they love Victoria sponge, then you'll know how much that pisses you off, right? You do not want to do the same thing to your users. You want to have a very short, brief summary at the top with a star rating and a buy link. This is good, XYZ. It has this many features. We rate these features 4 out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars, 3 out of 5 stars. So they get a whole overview of the product and they can see that product box and they don't have to read the rest of the review if they don't want to, but if they do, then they can scroll down. So just to show you how I would use it, I'm going to open up the product box and it's called Review on the Ultimate Blocks WordPress plugin, and it opens up this nice little box here. Completely free. You just put the title of the review up here, so Nikon D5200, and I always like to put brackets quicker review. Then in the review author's name, I don't usually put the review author's name, I usually put the price here. Now it will show up in the featured snippet as review author, but no one really cares who wrote the article, let's be honest. All we care about is the price. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the price in here. I'm not really sure how much it is. I don't wanna research that right now. So I'm just gonna put £500. And then I always put a slash as well. So I always put dollars first because I'm targeting the US. So let's just put $700 slash £500. That means if I've got anyone from the UK come in, they know what it is in pounds as well. But I'm also covering that main American audience that I have by putting the $700 there as well. Just makes it easier for people. Then basically you've got a load of features here, so you can write anything in them. So let's put, I don't know, image quality, and then you can choose your star rating. So I'm gonna put 4 out of 5, and then I'm gonna put video quality, and I'm gonna put 4 stars. Yeah, it's great. Ease of use, 4.5 stars here. You kind of get the picture after this. You're just going to go down kind of different features and just include a main like sort of 5 list of features with star rating. Then what this product box is going to do is going to add it up all for you. It's going to say 3.8 out of 5. Brilliant. And we're just going to put a short summary here. Something like that, just something short, something sweet that is just easy to read, and it's just like, okay, it's good. Here are the bad sides, but it's good for beginners kind of thing. Then what you want to do is pop your call to action here. I always put website. I never put buy here because I feel like that puts people off quite a lot. And if they see website, it's more like, oh, okay, I'm just going to the website. I'm not feeling pressured to buy it. At the end of the day, they're going to make their own decision, but I think a lot of these little things add up. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my affiliate link or the Nikon link, and I'm just going to link that in there. And you can come in here and you can sort of change the colors and all stuff like that. You can change the star colors to fit with your theme as well. It's a great plugin for reviews. So I'll have that product box at the top, and then I'll go ahead and add some headings afterwards. So the first heading I'd probably put, I'd go ahead and I'd put a H2 here, and I'd put, what is the Nikon D5200? And under here, I'd just have a very kind of like brief overview of what it is. It's a camera that does X, Y, Z, and you can use it for X, Y, Z, and it's this good or this good kind of thing. So you pop in a few details here, and then under this heading, I'll also have a H3, which will be features. Then here you'll list the features, and you can do this in either a kind of pros and cons format, or you can just do it in a bulleted list. Either one works. What you want to choose is up to you. You got the power. Then in the next couple of headings, I'd probably put things about it, like things that people want to know. So how good is the Nikon for photography. Then the next H2 I'd put is the Nikon D5200, good for video. Under these two headings, I'd basically explain whether it's good for photography, kind of like what makes it good, and what the pros and cons of it are for photography. And then I'd go in for video, and I'd basically just list whether it's good for video. I'd leave a couple of examples of videos of actual footage of people using the Nikon D5200 for filming, and then I'd answer it under there. I also might put some H3s under here about the microphone quality, because that's something I can see people would be interested in knowing about. So maybe a H3, how good is the microphone? Then under the how good is the microphone bit, I might suggest to buy a Rode mic or a different shotgun mic for the camera, because I know the microphone on this camera is a piece of shit. Also, something I forgot to include further up is I'd have two H3s of pros and cons, and I'd use these as a different layout on WordPress, so I wouldn't have them just underneath each other. I'd have them as a side-by-side snippet on the WordPress. You can do this in WordPress by adding columns, so you'd put one column pros and the other column cons, and it would be product box, pros and cons side by side, and then underneath would be what is the Nikon D5200, so the person can get all the information right at the top of the article. Then later on, after I'd filled in the rest of this, enough words for 3,100, I put a verdict at the bottom, and the verdict will be the exact same product box first, with the link and everything like that, and then it would be kind of a little bit of a more elaborating description of what I thought personally of the Nikon D5200. Then maybe to fill this in a little bit more, I might put stuff like, is it good for beginners? Who's it for? Is it for advanced or beginners kind of thing? And I'd all put these things under headings because, like I said, people don't really want to read that far. They want to scan your article, look for the headings and look for the bold words, and they just want to read the bit that they want to read, and then they want to leave and they want to buy it. So you want to make this process as easy as possible for this potential person. Think about if you were going to buy a camera or buy something you like, and you just Google the search results, go through the blogs and see if they actually help you with your answer or question. A lot of the time, the top results aren't that great for stuff like this, and here's where you can come in and completely kill them on this, because no one wants to stay on your page that long. They just want the information and they want to leave. Then after I'd completed this template, what I'd do is I'd pop a couple of things under each heading to show the writer what they should write about. Then once I'd filled that all out, I would go to the share button, copy that, and then send it over to my writer. Once they'd sent it back to me, I'd basically check if all these keywords were hit, what the content score was, and then I'd go ahead and add images myself into the actual WordPress article. If the content score was below around 70, I would send it back to the writer, because I want it to be around 60 to 70, because this is what works in my experience on Surfer SEO. Thanks for watching the video this far. I'm so happy you made it to the end bit. If you do have a few more spare minutes, just go down and hit that little like button down there. It really does help me out. And also, if you are new here, join the family, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because everything I do to earn an income online, I'm going to be sharing for free here. No courses, no bullshit, exactly what I've done and with real life results. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hit subscribe. If it sounds like something you're not interested in, then fuck off. Anyway, I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.